Okay, so for week 7 of winter anime season does continue. Exciting week. Jujutsu Kaisen is back, so yeah, we had a highly anticipated episode, new character, this kind of serious lawyer dude. He's so cool, Higuruma. So I'm gonna talk about that episode. Frieren as well. We are kind of like reaching a new arc. We keep going north, and now we're facing some like kind of like insane demons. So it's set up pretty suspensefully. So I'm looking forward to see what's gonna happen. Fate Strange Fake as well, insane fight this week. This was like maybe one of the best fights in this anime so far. But yeah, there's some insane animation going on and great action. Fire Force, we get the Tamaki fan service episode. It's so weird. But I thought the anime kind of portrayed the story and action really well. It did feel like the world is kind of ending and just like random shit is happening. Oshi and Oko, we have like a super dramatic kind of like relationship and scandal episode as well. Shiboyugi, there's like another kind of like sad fight with these cute bunny girls. So yeah, gonna talk about that. And then My Hero Vigilantes, I kind of like this like end of the backstory for Aizawa episode. Kind of shows the evolution of his character to like the strong dude that we see in the regular series. Hell's Paradise, you know, the fighting continues. And yeah, besides that, a lot of other shows do continue, so gonna talk about them. Let's get started. So yeah, for Jujutsu Kaisen this week, yeah, we have the Culling Games episode 8. So Higuruma backstory episode. Like, I thought it was super well done because you thought, okay, this would be like a battle royal type of fight arc season. There's not too much fighting happening, bro. So like the actual cinematic nature of like, you know, talking about this lawyer, showing his like evolution, how he got his powers, it was so good. So yeah, it was kind of like the heroic lawyer type of trope where we get the criminal lawyer. He likes to defend people no matter how hard the job is. He likes to believe in justice. He keeps his eyes open all the time. Just like, you know, listens to all the stories. So yeah, he just like works really hard as like a criminal defender. This one case he's working on is a dude who like murdered somebody, and then they found the murder weapon, a knife, in his apartment. So it's kind of like open and shut there. But then he actually like tries to investigate, and he realizes that like he found the knife, and then like even though his story is kind of a stretch, he didn't actually murder the guy. So yeah, basically this entire episode is Higuruma just like working to free this guy. Him and his cute lawyer sidekick just like going around the neighborhood, uncovering a lot of shady details about the organization he was working for. And then, you know, all of the evidence helped. They like won the impossible case. They were able to free him. So yeah, the first trial went in, he's not guilty. Yeah, they found like other reasons. So like this was like a murder and a robbery, but they didn't find any of the robbery items. We see that some dude he was working with as well, that dude went missing, so that guy might be the murderer. And also at the same time, this dude, at the same time of the murder, he was caught on security camera in a convenience store. So like everything kind of like exonerates him, right? So yeah, he's kind of like happy, like, you know, Higuruma did a good job freeing him. They won the case. He did the like cool reaction gif of him working so hard, and he put his hands on his face like, yo, finally. And also, yeah, it's not over yet because they can appeal. So the prosecutors do appeal, and they go to like the second trial, which, you know, Higuruma is prepared for. But the problem is that it was a rigged trial. They called this guy guilty on the second trial, and there was like no new evidence. So that's kind of like unreasonable. Higuruma's like really mad at this because if you had new evidence, sure, but nothing changed about the case. So this dude, I guess like pressure from the media and stuff made him guilty. The defendant is actually staring at Higuruma like all angry because, you know, they believed in each other. It's kind of like an unfortunate situation, especially as a lawyer. You make all these promises, you try your best, but, you know, life in prison, like what can you do? So yeah, Higuruma, he feels bad even though his eyes are open, like justice is blind. He thinks the system is wrong. So yeah, he crashes out after the trial, just like bangs his gavel there, and he kind of like awakens his curse technique, gets like a stand, like a little like Shikigami behind him, and then he awakens his curse technique and enters the Culling Games. We see he has 102 points, so that means he killed at least 20 people. So yeah, Yuji kind of faces off with him after getting escorted by his friend. We get like a bit of Yuji backstory as well of him like beating up bullies, and then Amai kind of like recognizing Yuji from that moment. So yeah, some like small character moments there as well. We also see Megami, since he was also looking for Higuruma. He got baited by Remy, and then he sees like this blonde dude that's like wearing like papers around him. That's also really funny. This dude's like pretty zesty, and he kind of talks to Megami, gives us like a quick plot dump on what the Culling Games is and how like the end game, it's kind of weird because a lot of people are just like dying on spawn. So it's not really about prolonging the game, but it's more about like having strong people left over in the game, and after that Kenjaku might like do some shit. So yeah, we'll probably get more there with Megami, but yeah, here we see Higuruma talk to Yuji. Yuji kind of trying to convince him, hey, you know, we're trying to stop the games. We don't want everyone to die. We want to stop the forced killings. Can I get your 100 points? Let me make a rule. He's kind of crazy. I love the crazy depiction of him. So yeah, he's like just like chilling in a bathtub. in the middle of this theater. He's saying that he like kind of respects the rules of the Culling game, even though it's like not perfect. The kind of rigid rule structure is like, you know, cool. He wants to observe it. So yeah, negotiations kind of breaking down there. Yuji starts fighting. He's like, give me your 100 points. Higuruma's like, okay, bro, domain expansion. Starts the fight with the domain expansion. We end the episode there. What a tease. But yeah, insanely well animated like domain from him. Funny, cool rock music as well. And then his domain is like a bunch of guillotines around the border, which is kind of cool. And then yeah, it's Yuji and Higuruma kind of facing off in like kind of judge defendant positions. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. If there's gonna be a guaranteed hit, is Yuji gonna be cooked? Bro, he's in the domain. But yeah, we end the episode there. Kenjaku, we also see him talking to like kind of foreign world leaders maybe. So yeah, that might be the bomb he's dropping on the Culling game. We'll see. But yeah, insanely good episode. You know, like these new characters they're introducing in the Culling game are like really fun, and the cinematic direction of the anime really does justice to these kind of like character moments. Also, after that, we have Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Season 2, Episode 6. Interesting episode, so we finally get, like, a prolonged arc in Frieren. It's not episodic anymore. There's, like, this village that's been destroyed by demons, and there also seems to be one big giant demon that's actually a problem that's stronger than all the other demons, and it defeated, like, all the soldiers and everything. So, yeah, Frieren and her squad are kind of investigating, and we also see a team of first-class mages here as well, so it's Methode, so she's, like, the kind of, like, hot girl that passed the exam, and she thought Frieren was cute, so yeah, she's here. And also Genau, so he was the proctor for the first exam, where they had to, like, kind of look for the bird. So, yeah, this dude is, like, very hateable, honestly. I love how they did his character, because he was hateable during the exam because he was like underestimating Frieren. He's hateable here as well because he doesn't really care about all these dead people. I guess he's like closing his heart off to it. Like it's obvious that he hates demons, but like even like he found like this dying person in the village. And he just like walked with him slowly, but not like he's like, okay, this guy's just too far gone. Like, it felt like they intentionally made him like not care about anybody. I'm kind of interested to see what they do with his character. Like he might die, but besides that, yeah, they're kind of like gathering dead people in the church. We get some lore that like they kind of transport the dead bodies down south. Because if they bury them up north, then a lot of monsters will just like ravage the graves. So that's going on. We see them kind of like almost attack Frieren for an Sturk because they like detect their mana levels, but then yeah, they meet each other. And then they like, you know, start working together discussing like the demon hunt. So it looks like there were like regular demons in this village, but then there was also like this huge Giga demon that was like doing a lot of like damage here. So yeah, they kind of like do some CSI investigation, Dirk and Methode. So then they kind of deduce that these cuts are kind of like too widespread and even to be like a normal demon wielding 2 swords. They realize like it's a demon wielding 4 swords. I like the way they kind of like piece together information, felt like a mystery show here. But basically they're hunting this like giant 4-armed demon. So it's kind of like an interesting setup episode. We got more familiar characters here working together. And yeah, it looks like they're setting up this demon to be super strong. So yeah, I hope it doesn't disappoint. Also, we have Fate Strange Fake this week, episode 9, bro. All the action in this anime is like beautiful. I'm like so speechless at this episode. Like so many like kind of incredible moments. As like, you know, we get an actual like intense fight here. So we see Alcides again. He's riding like a Cerberus, like the 3-headed dog. And then he's attacking the hospital. And then we see all the police officers are there also to like maintain order. So yeah, the policemen and then the church people, they're here to kind of like try to protect the city. We see there's the vampire guy like in the back. He's trying to save his master. And the fight pretty much kind of ends up in a 4-way with Alcides facing off against Jack the Ripper. He kind of summons him. It was insane. Jack the Ripper's like a demon here instead of like a lolly. Like he's like a concept of human fear. So he's just like a literal demon that can just like multiply. It's kind of like an idea more than like an actual guy. And then we also see Gilgamesh show up. He's facing off against Saber. And we also see Alcides as Cerberus is fighting like this dude who just like duplicates. He seems to be coming from hell. So it's like a policeman with infinite clone bodies. We see so many random servants just like popping up on top of like the main like kind of 7 people and then the duplicate 7. So there's like an insane amount of like random characters showing up. It's like kind of fun. So throughout the fight, we see Jack the Ripper kind of overwhelming Alcides. Gilgamesh using his Gates of Babylon also in the fight. And then yeah, him fighting Saber. It's like 2 kings kind of going after each other. There's a lot of interesting moments. I did love Gilgamesh the most in this fight. He's like very charismatic, funny, kind of tsundere. And then yeah, he just wants people to be strong, respectful of him, and then, you know, show him like a good fight. Also, after that, Jack the Ripper, he uses his noble phantasm. I think it's called Natural Born Killers. It seems to be like the spirits of murderers, and then it's just like overwhelming Alcides. There's like infinite demon bodies just like kind of blasting him. But it looks like Alcides has an ability where he can absorb your noble phantasm. So he actually does that after taking a lot of damage, just like absorbs Natural Born Killers. It's like kind of insane. So does Alcides get stronger? Like what is this ability? Maybe it just like nullifies noble phantasms, but basically Alcides is still here kind of wreaking havoc. and he punches this dude, John. So he was kind of like a heroic police officer. He lost his arm during the vampire fight. And it seemed like they were setting him up to, like, get stronger, just, like, stand up for justice. Doesn't, do his job as a police officer. But then he faces off against all cities and gets one shot. This dude, like, if you blink, you'll miss it. He, like, just smacked him. And what happened to his body was just, like, so gruesome. Like, his neck just, like, spinned out of his upper body. And then his arms are also, like, broken. But this dude is, like, beyond dead, I'm pretty sure. But also, it begs the question, they set him up a lot, so maybe something will happen to this guy. But yeah, John died. John the policeman. John Strange fake. So, fun episode, just, like, really good action. And then, things are getting intense. So, yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. All right, so for Hell's Paradise Season 2, Episode 8, fighting continues. We also got some backstories on Jufa and Talfa. They seem to be, like, some of the realest Tencent here. They were actually, like, very human, but then, after spending so much time on the island, they got crazy. So yeah, we get phase 2 of the fight. Before then, though, we get Tetsu. So he's, like, big, strong Unga Bunga guy. Doesn't see Tao, doesn't really care about it, just, like, wants to strike things with a sword. He wants to be the strongest swordsman. That's, like, his life goal. And of course, he became really strong, but now, he ended up on this island. So yeah, he's just slicing up Talfa. The little Asaimon's also helping him. And then they do a combo attack. He holds her down, so she can't regenerate. And then Tetsu just, like, cuts her in half. So she's about to die. She turns to a giant plant tree thing. He's, like, crying out for Jufa. So then he's also there. It's time to merge. So both of them team up and they become, like, this big angelic flying plant demon. It was so scary. It had, like, this, like, petal wing. It was such a sick design, honestly. Just, like, both of them, their faces just, like, combined into 4 pieces, and also spitting pollen out that, like, makes people laugh. So I love that design. And then yeah, we also get their backstory. So all the Tencent growing up, they also kind of absorbed Tan from, like, some of the islanders. So Jufa and Tafa felt bad about it. We see that they're twins, and then, like, both of them, they have, like, different things that they're, like, good at and bad at. So it's like they're 2 halves of the same person. And basically the reason that, like, the master created 2 of them is because he wanted them to be proficient in Bochu Jutsu. Like, everyone else was, like, proficient in something else, but they were doing Bochu Jutsu. I mean, it was fucked up. They see that something's wrong here, and then spending so much time on the island, they wanted to maintain their sanity, but eventually they broke. So that basically leads them to, to kill humans. So all 4 of these guys are, like, facing off to, like, beat the fusion of this plant monster. It's flying in the air, so it's gonna be, like, kind of tough to, like, get it down. But yeah, each fight is escalating. I love how each Tencent has their own personality and then their monster transformation. It's also very unique for all of them. So this one, it might be tough to, like, face this, like, 2-person flying just, like, plant demon. Also after that, we have Oshinoko Season 3 Episode 7. Insanely dramatic episode, bro. It's crazy. It's over for Akane and Aqua, by the way. So we have to deal with that. They did the breakup pretty well, I thought. I was, like, so invested in the drama, and it's like both of them are very toxic as well. Realize, because Akane wants to do everything herself. She's, like, tracking down Aqua's father. She wants to murder him. We see Aqua also, like, knows Akane's location. Also after that, we see Kana as well. So yeah, we have to deal with her. The fallout for her scandal arc, where they're gonna write an article about her, like, seeing the director, and then all the fans are gonna, like, hate her. We see Ruby kind of watching, trying to help her, and then Memcho as well. So it looks like Ruby, she does want to help. We see actually one of her eyes turns white when she's thinking about Kana. So it looks like she's still good. The good Ruby is still there. She's not, like, fully evil. So basically Aqua kind of sells the story about him and Ruby being Ai's children. So, like, they kind of sleaze a reporter to not write the story about Kana. So they have, like, a negotiation in the bar, and then yeah, it gets revealed at the end of the episode. It's on the news and everything. Kana, she's kind of, like, relieved, I guess, because the story is not about her on the news. But at the same time, it's, like, a lot bigger, bro. This is Aqua's life. None of the characters really expected this to happen. The fact that it's publicized is kind of, like, gonna be crazy. But basically, yeah, we save Kana with that, but then now it's Akane's turn. It looks like she's gonna go visit Aqua's father and murder him. She has a knife and a bunch of flowers that she's hiding. So she's kind of just, like, walking. She actually falls down the stairs on this bridge. But yeah, it was just, like, kind of like a random accident. And Aqua was actually there. He was stalking Akane. And he kind of, like, grabs her from the stairs before she falls. It was, like, very weird timing. But basically, this kind of, like, reinforces Aqua saying that Akane shouldn't, like, put her life in danger like this. Akane kind of gets betrayed because Aqua doesn't trust her. And then, like, he also has a tracking device on her. And then she's like, bro, if you trust me, I would do anything for you. I would wear this tracking device. But Aqua doesn't want Akane to be a criminal and like do this. Akane wants to devote herself to Aqua. The negotiations are breaking down there. They both want to like help each other, but in a different way. Akane wants to go all the way for him, and then Aqua just wants her to be like kind of safe. But Aqua like breaks up with her. It was pretty sad. I definitely like the drama here, so yeah, it kind of like made sense for both of the characters. Like Aqua is kind of a bit annoying to watch him because yeah, he kind of like drives a lot of people away from him. Even though they're trying to like kind of help him, I guess he likes to be independent. So I guess we'll see what's gonna happen. But yeah, a lot of like drama, a lot of like plot is gonna shift, I guess. Also after that we have Fire Force season 3 part 2 episode 8. This is the Tamaki fight. Basically what's happening here is that a lot of doppelgangers are just like showing up because the world is like getting fucked up. All these people's perceptions are like going crazy. So just like so many villains are showing up, and then the heroes, all the Fire Force division people, they're like, we have to maintain hope, because if people are despairing that they think it's the end of the world, then it'll actually happen. But if we preserve hope, if we maintain hope, then you know things will be all right. We'll kind of like reverse the Great Cataclysm. So yeah, that's like their goal now, is to just like fight off all the doppelgangers and maintain hope. You know, maybe save all the civilians. And also, yeah, before that, we get the kind of beginning of this episode. We see Sumire. So she's like a human now. We see our voice actress like in real life. And they just like filmed this scene of her just like explaining the Great Cataclysm. She was there before. Like, she was basically yapping about how like, you know, everyone is just drones. They're kind of mindless, so yeah, they do want to die. So basically during this episode, the main fight here is Tamaki versus Assault. And this is a doppelganger Assault, so he's not like affected by Tamaki's Lucky Leecher. Because the original Assault, bro, he would have folded. He would have gotten nosebleeds, gotten knocked out. But yeah, this doppelganger Assault's actually insane. And also, it was like kind of pretty well done because Assault throughout the anime, they set him up as like this insanely strong assassin. So he solos everybody. Tamaki's like trying to tank his hits, but yeah, he's not doing a good job. And then all her clothes get burned off as well. So she's just there, just like revealing her stockings, her bras like shown. And then the real Assault shows up. The real Assault wants to work with Tamaki, wants to protect the lewdness, because you know human beings being lewd is actually good. You know, it's like part of life. That was like the message they were like portraying here. I know a lot of people were saying it just like felt like the author kind of making this chapter, this fight by Tamaki fan service is okay, it's not a problem. And also, if you're complaining, you're just a mindless drone. So yeah, it was very weird. I didn't like this fight in the manga as well. I thought it was like a bit too drawn out. I didn't like how like they had this NPC little kid explain everything. If you have a good looking body, show it off. Like there's no problem with that. It's the same with any other skill. If you're really smart, you shouldn't gatekeep things. I guess that's what he's trying to say. But basically, Tamaki, she's fighting with their fan service. She like takes her clothes off. She's in her bra and panties, and she kind of teams up with Assault. There's like some hot moments of her just like spinning around. You know, it was drawn pretty well, this fight. Everyone else is kind of like cheering on Tamaki now. Like the NPCs aren't hating on her anymore. We see people stripping their clothes, and Tamaki just like, you know, teaming up with Assault and then just like doing a double team up attack. And you know, like such a ridiculous fight. I think it does like bring the energy of the manga though, whereas Fire Force is like kind of reaching the climax. There's so many of these kind of crazy fights that don't really seem to make sense. I don't really agree or disagree with the message. It's just there. I don't really feel anything. So yeah, you know, more insane fights are probably gonna come up next week as well. You know, Arthur versus Dragon, they were setting it up. Also after that, we have Chain Soldiers. So season 2, episode 8. Really good episode. We meet another commander. So that seems to be a theme this season, just like meeting new commanders. We see that the demons are kind of like infiltrating the earth, and now they're like sucking people, kidnapping girls. We see Kyoka teaming up with Mira, so she's a new commander. They seem to have some history. We see that Kyoka actually beat her when she was younger, and then they both want to like, you know, face off and be the supreme commander. She has like a delinquent gang leader type of theme with her. With the bandages, she has like the Jotaro hat and stuff. And also her ability, she just like has clones of her body. These clones are like the same power, and then yeah, she can summon a lot of them, just like overwhelm any demon with them. She also has like a partner that also like kind of waves this flag that like buffs her. So yeah, she's just like a really strong physical fighter. We see that she's also like kind of shy as well. So I like her personality. She likes to take care of people. Like she's like a mother figure, but also gets shy when she sees like Kyoka and Yuki like have a reward together. Great fan service this episode as well, saying like, you know, the character is showering and then, you know, facing off. But yeah, besides that, we see Yuki actually get kidnapped by one of the demons that they were tracking down, and also yeah, she wants to have sex with them first. So we'll see how that that goes. Also, we have Sentenced to be a Hero episode 8. You know, the story continues with them like kind of facing off against another demon lord. So this one, he's like kind of more humanoid. So yeah, like a lot of people in the city, they have to be careful who they trust because even the knights, they might have been infiltrated by demons. We see them having like this emergency meeting. A lot of the kind of other knights have died. So yeah, stuff is kind of like desperate in the city. Silo kind of wants to do his own thing. We see them tracking down like the head of the Adventurers Guild. So first they try to go like the underground part of the city. Silo kind of going undercover with Kivia to like hire an assassin. So maybe that might get them closer to like the dude that was like gonna kill them. But yeah, that kind of gives their position away. They're not really subtle at all. And then we see Xylo's fiance here as well, so she also shows up. So we see Kivia in a cute dress, Xylo's fiance. Everyone's just like, you know, kind of awkward and just like arguing with each other. But basically a lot of cute moments here as they're trying to go undercover, but it doesn't work. They get attacked. So yeah, Xylo, Kivia, and Frenzy, they're like kind of teaming up. So a lot of like, you know, fun moments and like escalations and fighting. Also, one thing, we don't see Teoritsu in this episode. So it looks like less of Teoritsu, more of Kivia and Frenzy. Also, after that, we have Shiboyugi, the Death Game anime, episode 8. Insane episode. This is the Candlewoods episode. We're talking about this. This game is like intense, bro. It's kind of like a game of tag where you murder the person you tag. So there's two teams. There's the rabbits, so a bunch of like cute girls dressed in like sexy bunny outfits, and then there's the kind of lumberjacks or the stumps. So they have like guns, shurikens, knives, a lot of stuff. They kind of like hunt down the rabbits. So to win, you have to either survive as a rabbit or like kill 5 people as a lumberjack. So it seems to be kind of rough for the lumberjacks because of the rabbits. They have like this kind of like veteran player with them. So they're probably going to be hard to hunt down. And also, like, they can also turn the tables on the lumberjacks, steal their weapons. So, yeah, it's kind of like a free-for-all here. And then the lumberjacks, we see a lot of them are inexperienced. There's only one person with experience. So, it's like they don't really understand that these games are life or death yet. So, the lumberjack girl, she, like, murders one of the other girls in their kind of starting area. And then she tells everyone, okay, stab this girl to know, like, you know, how it feels like to stab a person. And then someone doesn't want to do it, so she also kills her, too. But, bro, it's so crazy. Like, I feel the emotion here. Also, like, it's pretty funny how kind of like ridiculous this concept is as an anime. Like we have all these like kind of cute girls like kind of preparing to murder the rabbits. It looks like something will go down during the Candlewoods because our main character Yuki, he has 2 of her normal blue eyes in this episode. Well, regularly she had heterochromia. Also, we see her mentor. She also had the goal of winning 99 games. She won 96 so far, so she's kind of like taking her time now, being more cautious. So maybe she died in this game too, which would be sad. And maybe Yuki took on her goal as her ideal to like win 99 games. It's kind of crazy, bro. So I'm excited to see how brutal these Candlewoods will be. We also have some other shows going on. My Hero Vigilantes season 2. This was a really good episode. Just like Aizawa showing him like kind of solo this giant monster. It has the power to absorb a lot of people's quirks. So it actually absorbed a lot of people's like initial burst. So all of these heroes got like bodied by it exploding. So yeah, it's like this giant frog monster. Aizawa shows up because yeah, the city is like in danger. He has to like kind of like defeat the monster before it rampages. So then yeah, he uses his power to like disable a lot of its quirks that it absorbed. And also after that, he's just like beating the monster. It's like this giant frog man. He's like punching it. So just like cool fight. We see like his friend also hyping him up, Shirakumo, the cloud guy. So yeah, Aizawa hears him through his comms. But actually, Shirakumo died. Aizawa made that shit up, or maybe the comms broke. But yeah, like as Aizawa just like beat this giant like frog monster, it was bittersweet because yeah, the kind of really positive dude that recruited him, that wanted them to like kind of start up a hero agency together, he died. It was unfortunate. We see Aizawa kind of like being depressed now. He's kind of living his life being an independent hero, not relying on anyone. And then yeah, he kind of graduates school just like by himself, doesn't really attend the graduation. And then yeah, we kind of flash forward back to the present time with him hanging out with Koichi because yeah, Koichi saved this cat, and the cat was like kind of a part of their friendship when they were in the roof together. So his backstory with him, his friends, we saw Present Mike and Midnight as well. It was pretty fun. There's some other shows going on as well. Medalist is super cute. So we see Inori, she kind of keeps training. They're kind of in this stadium where there's like a lot of like strong people training as well. So Hikaru is there, and then yeah, Inori, she wants to get better, and to do that she needs to know how to do the triple loots and the triple axle. She can't do either like perfectly. She always falls. And then the issue here is that, yeah, you need to learn them to get the most efficient amount of points because you get 8 points by doing both of them. So Inori won the other competition earlier without it, which is kind of like a bit bad, but you know, it just like takes time to learn it, I guess. Tsukasa actually does the jumps himself to like show her, and then she's like kind of impressed by him. And also, yeah, there's some other techniques. There's like a harness they use to kind of like help her lift her up. It's kind of like assisting her jump heights. So all of that's going on, just like more training arcs, cute moments, as you know, the ice skating does continue. We also have Scum with the Brave. You know, there's some some real gangster shit. One of Yashiro's friends died, so his other buddies are just like going for revenge. They're, like doing underground murder, just like hunting people for intel. It's so crazy. So it kind of like takes you aback because yeah, this is actually like what Braves kind of do. Like a lot of people can die, and this episode showed like a lot of sad moments as people like, you know, are dying. And then there's also Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider, bro. Insane fights every week. So yeah, there's like the kind of idol episode where they're kind of facing off against the Batman guy, and there's also the other combatant that's like, you know, trying to kill and hunt down all the other free combatants. So she's facing off against one of the Shocker dudes. It's like kind of crazy so far. Each episode's like very nice. So yeah, it looks like they're setting up Batman to be like the kind of final villain monster that the squad will beat. We'll see how things go. Also after that, we have Journal with Witch episode 9. So the story continues, just like really great again. Learning more about Makio, some of her like kind of friendships and backstories, seeing her kind of talk to some of her acquaintances, and also like the episode was like kind of spaced out pretty uniquely, where we see bits and pieces of the same day happening, it's the same events, but then they're like kind of spliced. So it seems to be like Makio's head, just like random events are happening. But stuff is still going well, you know. Asa, she's growing up, talking to more people. She's also talking to a school counselor, but doesn't really know much to say. She's also pushing herself to write, so maybe like she's trying to be an author as well, taking after Makio. But you know, stuff is going on, great progression. We're just getting like a wholesome, real story every week. And finally, we have Kaya-chan Isn't Scary. So episode 8, it's very cute every week. The story just like keeps going. So, you know, decent horror moments. Basically, the same things are happening where Kaya's just like saving people in school, but also we see like a lot of adult characters are kind of like wary about Kaya. We see Mob's master. So he tells everyone to kind of stay away from Kaya because her power is kind of OD. It's like kind of inherited from her family line. And it doesn't matter if she's good or bad. The fact that she has all this power unregulated is a bad thing. So yeah, maybe stay away from her. Maybe someone has to stop her. We see Kaya also, she might be getting corrupted too with that power. Maybe if her emotions kind of like get unregulated. We also see here like there's like this festival thing happening at the end where she loses her dad, and then there's like this creepy guy trying to like pick her up. So yeah, Kaya tries to punch him, but yeah, her baby 5-year-old punches don't work on him. So she gets saved by Mob's master, but yeah, we can see that her face is kind of getting corrupted too. You know, love the anime, a lot of like spooky moments as well. And you know, hopefully Kaya kind of recovers from this because I don't want our main character to suffer. And yeah, that's it for the shows this week. Thank you for watching. You know, very good week, just like spoiled for anime this season. So many high quality shows, good action. Jujutsu Kaisen's like a movie. Frieren, I like it as well. Everything else is super well directed, great stories. So thank you for watching. I'll catch you next week. Peace.